Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Naveen, and for this week's video, I thought it would be fun to do what I realistically read like during the week as a full-time student. I am studying law at university. I started my classes last week. I have classes from Tuesday till Friday, and yeah, right now it's Monday, September 15th. It's 8:12 p.m. I'm supposed to be having a shower right now because I have to go to sleep at around I'd like to be in bed at around 9 p.m. when I have to go to class. So, yeah, I should be in the shower right now. But I thought doing this intro and giving you guys the update of what I did today was more important than going to have a shower. So, let's get into what I read today. So, today I was reading Bad Blood by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the third book in the Natural series. And that's a lie because it's not the third book, it's the fourth book in the series. I think there's a novella after it that's called 12, if I'm not mistaken, but I only own the four books. So, the Natural series, what is it about? So, if you don't know what it's about this group of teenagers that are naturals at doing something. For example, at telling when someone is lying, at reading someone's emotions, or profiling someone, things like that. And they work with the FBI helping them resolve cold cases. So, basically, that's what the Naturals program is supposed to be. But soon you find out that these kids are going to be helping with more than cold cases. They're going to be helping with active cases. And this is kind of something that nobody wanted, but it happened. That's basically the premise of the whole series. And in each book, you're following a different serial killer and you're trying to find out who this serial killer is with them. So it's like you're going through this investigation with them, and you also have like these letters that are from the serial killer's perspective, which is really enlightening. Going back to where we were, I am reading the fourth book right now. I am 232 pages into the book, and I'm loving it. This is such a fun time. These books read like an episode of Criminal Minds, and if you have to know something about me, Criminal Minds is one of my favorite TV shows out there. I've been watching it since I was a little kid, way before I was even supposed to be watching it. I was watching it, and you better believe I was there with the team trying to unsolve who the unsub is. So, going back to the book, the books read like an episode of Criminal Minds, and I love them. They're so fast paced. They are YA, which typically is something that I don't gravitate towards. Typically, YA books tend to read a little bit too young for my liking, but these books don't. I don't know if it's because of the content of the book that it's helping the YA aspect. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Jennifer Lynn Barnes' writing that's not making it feel as YA as it's supposed to be. I don't know what it is. The thing is, it's not reading too young to me. I'm actually really enjoying it. And I don't know if I've said it, but I gave The Naturals, which is the first book, 5 stars. I gave Killer Instinct, which is the second book. I'm pretty sure it was like a 4 star or 4.5 stars. And then All In, which is the third book, I gave 5 stars. And right now, book 4, it's on the road to be a 5 star as well. Because I have nothing bad to say about the book. I'm so invested in the plot. I don't know how much I can say about the plot of this book without spoiling anything because intertwined with the plot of the third book. And not only that, but it talks about something that you only discover at the end of the third book. So I can't really say much other than we're following a serial killer and we're trying to figure out who it was. And also, something that I kind of notice is that our naturals are, they have some sort of relationship with the killer, or there's some sort of involvement there. They're connected somehow. At least we've had that in the last three books, and it looks like it's going to be the same for this one. So what I read, because I've been rambling for a long time. I don't even know if what I'm saying makes any type of sense in my mind, because like most of the times when I'm talking, like what I'm saying makes sense in my mind, but then when I like watch it back and I go to edit it, it doesn't make any type of sense. So yeah, I hope what I've been saying makes sense, because I've been talking for 9 minutes and I don't want to have to like refilm this. But Bad Blood, where I started and where I am. I started the book, I only read for like an hour and 20 minutes, something like that. I started the book on page 159, and oh my god, I put the book down at page 232. So that, I'm not good at maths. So I'm just going to do it on my phone. So 232 minus 159. I read 73 page. I read 73 pages, which is quite on par with my reading speed. I feel like I have a very average reading speed. I tend to read about a page per minute, maybe a little bit more if the if I'm really into it. I tend to read a little bit faster, but it's typically what I read in that amount of time. So for Monday we have 73 pages, which is pretty good, because I, like I said, I only had like an hour and 20 minutes to read. And the plans for tomorrow are that I'm gonna be listening to Shield of Sparrows on my way to school, because it's available on Audible. And I have like 4 hours left, I think. Let me check. I have like, not you. I have 4 hours left. Yeah, like exactly 4 hours. So I'm gonna be listening to that on the way to school and on my way back home. And when I get home, I'm gonna continue reading Bad Blood. So tomorrow it's gonna be like a very reading heavy day. It's also good because I consider audiobooks as reading, because it takes the same amount of mental power that reading an actual book would. So to me, they are reading. What are the TBR for this week? I have no idea. I know that when I'm done with Shield of Sparrows, I want to start listening to Nocticadia. So that's the next book on my listening TBR. But on my actual reading TBR, I have no idea. Maybe One Dark Window, because that book screams fall to me, and we're just got into fall. But I have other books that have been on my TBR for way too long that I haven't read. And One Dark Window is, I really want to read One Dark Window. I want to get into like the Rachel Gillick world. And it would be a fun change, because right now I'm reading a thriller book, and that one is fantasy, like gothic fantasy, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's going to be the next read. And if I finish One Dark Window, which I'm not too sure that it's going to happen, But if I'm gonna go into Two Twisted Crowns and maybe then read The Night and the Moth. But I don't think I'm gonna make it to The Night and the Moth, to be honest. I feel like that is aiming very high. Also because I wake up super early to go to school. I leave my house at 6:40 in the morning. And when I come back home, usually I'm very tired. I think that is all I wanted to say. I've been talking for a long time now, so this is a long intro, way too long. So I'm going to go have a shower and go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
The next day.
As you can see, we have unlocked a new location in my house. And that's because it's such a nice day out that I just wanted to enjoy the breeze and be out here a little bit. So I'm probably going to come here and read later. Oh my god, the fucking door scared the crap out of me. So yeah, I'm probably gonna come up here and read later today. So what we came here to talk about, reading updates. I was listening to She Loves Sparrows by Daphne Perry on my way to school and on my way back from school. And I have to say that I've had a change of heart. Or at least I think I've had a change of heart. So if you don't know what the book is about, the premise is basically this princess named Odessa gets married to a prince named Xavier. It's a marriage of convenience. And actually, she wasn't the one that was supposed to be marrying Xavier. It was her sister. But Xavier and his team, they came out with a loophole. And they were like, because of this loophole, we now can decide which of the two sisters we want to unite with in marriage, and we choose Odessa. After that, they're just traveling from town to town, and they're fighting monsters along the way. Some of the time they're fighting monsters, some others they're just traveling from town to town. And that's basically the whole premise of the book. There's nothing more going on for it. You're like, for 80% of the book, you're just traveling from town to town. And you're just fighting some monsters along the way, which can get a little bit boring, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I have like an hour and 30 minutes left of the book, which I'm gonna for sure finish tomorrow. But the book is getting more interesting. We've discovered some things which I cannot say any of the things we've discovered because they're all spoilers, but we've discovered some things and the romance has started to pick up. It's a very slow burn romance because it has just started to pick up and I'm like an hour and a half away from finishing it. But yeah, now I'm actually enjoying myself. Now I'm like, okay, maybe I do want to read another 2 books because it's supposed to be a trilogy. Maybe I do want to read another 2 books about this. But the thing is, I need a happy ending. If I'm going to put myself through 2 more books of this bullshit, I'm sorry for that word, but of this bullshit of traveling from town to town to town to town to town and just fighting some monsters along the way, if that is going to be the whole premise of the next 2 books, at least I need a happy ending. But I don't know that I'm gonna get that, so I don't know if I really want to put myself through reading those next 2 books. I feel like it all depends on what the next hour and a half is about, and if the cliffhanger is strong enough to get me to actually want to read it. Did anything that I just say make any type of sense? I don't know, I'll figure it out. have been reading for 50 minutes or so, and I got interrupted. I got a call, so I'm on page, oh my god, I'm on page 289, and I just discovered something that I didn't know. I only have like 90, like if you see the book from up here, this is where my bookmark is. This is what I have read and this is what I have left. And I was like, well, this doesn't make sense because on Fable it says the book is 370 something pages long. But on here, this is more than 300 pages, you know? And at first I thought it was just like on Fable that they had like an old version of the book. I don't know what I thought, but it turns out that there's a novella named 12 and it's at the end of the book. That's why this book is so long compared to what it's supposed to actually be. I only have 90 pages left of Bad Blood and then I have 12 to read, but I'm gonna finish those 90 pages tomorrow because it's already 6:18 p.m. Oh, let me show you the time. It's 6:18 p.m. and I have to shower and shave and all of that, and I want to go to bed pretty early today, like earlier than normal, because I want to make sure that I wake up tomorrow and have time to get ready and everything, because today I didn't have time to get ready or anything. But yeah, I'm just rambling and I should be talking about the book. That's why you're here. You're here to hear me talk about the books. You're not here to hear me rambling about random stuff. So I read 56 pages in 50 minutes or so, and the plot is developing. There was this twist regarding the letters from the Ansop that I was not expecting at all, and it went into a territory that I it wasn't even in my realm of possibilities. Like, I wasn't even considering that was a possibility for something like that to happen, or for that type of representation to be in this book. And now I am a little bit nervous about how that representation is going to be, if it's going to be represented in a good way, or in a, not in a good or bad way, but if it's going to be done right, you know, and not in a way that stigmatizes this thing more. I can't say much more than that because it would be a spoiler, but if you read the book, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. I don't know when the twist happens, but I do know that I hope it's done correctly. I hope it doesn't stigmatize this thing any more than it already is. And I hope that it's good representation. What else can I say? The writing, oh my god, the writing is riveting. The writing is so good, it's so compelling. Like, it grips your attention and it won't let go. There's constantly something happening. You're constantly discovering new things, or getting introduced to new suspects or new victims, new things constantly. So you're never ever bored, because there's always something happening. In regards to the characters, we're seeing some type of growth within them. Like, from how they were when we first started in the series, there has been some growth. There has been changes in them, especially because of the things they have had to go through. But it's nice seeing that, and in a way it makes you feel a lot more connected to them as characters also, because you feel like you've seen them grow and you've been a part of that process, so you feel more a part of that group. Also, the family that they're together, like the family that they are, how they are bonding together, is also so good. like the found family aspect. I never thought, like, found family was never one of my top priorities in regards to like book tropes, but this is making me want to read more found family books because it's so good. Like, the way they are there to support each other, to care for each other, to look out for one another. It's just so good. I have nothing else to say other than it's so good. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I plan on finishing this book tomorrow and reading the novella, either starting it tomorrow or starting it on not Wednesday, tomorrow is Wednesday, on Thursday, and finishing it on Thursday because I want to read the novella in like one sitting. So yeah. Hello guys. Today is Wednesday, is 7:09 p.m. and today has been quite an eventful day reading wise because I finished 2 books. Well, actually the only 2 books I was reading, I finished them. And first I want to talk about She Loves Sparrows because that's the one that I finished first. So I listened to it on the way to school and I finished it on my way back. And I have to admit that I did enjoy the last 20% of that book way more than I enjoyed the other 80% of the book. Because, as I said before, nothing was really happening apart from like traveling. And after so much, it gets boring, you know? But we did have like a few plot twists around that 80% mark. And those plot twists are the reason that I feel like I want to continue with the series and see where it goes. Because what do you mean? You know? Like, where are we going from here? What direction is this going to take? I'm curious about that. I'm like, where could this go? I have some theories, but I cannot tell you guys because there will be spoilers, of course. And if you don't mind the spoilers, just let me know in the comments and I will give you gladly all of the spoilers because I feel like that way it would be a lot more fun to talk about the books because I can like really talk about what happened and what's going on and what are my theories and all that. So I feel like that would be a lot more fun, not only for me but for you guys as well. So let me know about that. For now, I'm just gonna continue commenting on the books without giving spoilers. So the actual book was okay. It wasn't anything out of this world. I wasn't blown away by anything that was happening. I do feel like the audio really helped me get through it a lot quicker. I feel like it would have been a book that I would have DNF'd if I was reading it physically. Like, if I was reading that book physically, I don't think I would have made it to the 50% mark. And that's saying something because I don't really like DNFing books. Like, I will DNF a book, don't get me wrong. I will do it if I have to do it, but I don't enjoy doing it. Not that anyone enjoys DNFing books, like, you know what I mean. So, yeah. The audiobook, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the narrators, and I would recommend listening to it rather than reading it, even though I didn't read it and I only listened to it. I feel like the audio will make it a lot more manageable, and it would get by a lot quicker rather than if you read it physically. So yeah, those are my thoughts on She Loves Sparrows. I ended up giving it a 3.5 because it was an okay book. The writing was fine, the characters were fine, the plot was fine. Did we have some character development? I don't think we did, but it's fine, I guess. But yeah, I gave it a 3.5, and that 0.5 was because of the last 20%, because that really caught me off guard, and I wasn't really expecting all of the things that were going on at that moment. Like, I expected some of them, but not all of them. Most of it caught me off guard, to be honest. Now, let's talk about what is probably going to be my new favorite series, The Naturals with Bad Blood. I just finished this. It took me an hour and a half to finish what I had left of the book. And let me tell you, first of all, I love these characters so much. They're perfect. The found family aspect is just so well done. It makes you feel for them and what they're going through, and it just makes you want to help them and be there for them and like just hug them and be like, everything is going to be okay. That's literally what I want to do. But yeah, I finished Bad Blood. I have the novella left called 12. I'm gonna read that tomorrow when I come back from school. But yeah, what do I have to say about... I loved the plot. Love the characters. Even though I did discover, or I did guess, some of the plot twists in this specific book, that didn't make them less enjoyable though. No, I'm thinking about it and it didn't make them less enjoyable. It was just like I was expecting it because I kind of guessed them. What else? Something that I didn't really like, it was that at around the 80%, 90% mark, the plot started to feel a little bit... Let me look up the word before I say it. Okay, I think the right word is gimmicky. I feel like that's the word that I'm looking for, and I think it's right used in this in this whatever. Let me know if it's not. But the plot did start to feel a little bit gimmicky as we were undercovering. That's not a word. As we were discovering more and more of the Unsub and who they were and what was their motives and who was involved and all of that, it started to get more and more gimmicky, and it took me a little bit, it took me out of the story a little bit, so that I didn't really enjoy. I feel like the other plot, like the other books, felt a lot more real and natural. Pardon the pun. They did feel a lot more real. They felt like, oh, this could have happened. Okay, I see this happening. You know? Well, whereas in this one, I was like, can I really see that happening? I don't know. And some of the... I'm just gonna say this, and it's gonna be a little bit of a spoiler. So, if you don't want to hear about it, just skip forward. Some of the bad guys, they felt a little bit theatrical, not in a good way, in like an overdone type of way. They felt like that to me. But yeah, other than that, I really enjoyed the story. I really enjoyed the pace of the book. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed pretty much everything that was going on, apart from what I've told you, of course. Oh, and another thing that I didn't really enjoy is that I felt like the ending was a little bit underwhelming. Like, I know there's a novella, but this is supposed to be the end of a series. The novella is just like an extra. What do you mean that's the end? It felt so underwhelming. So like, oh, I wanted more. I don't know what I wanted. I just know that that's not what I wanted. I just wanted more of something, more of, I don't know what, but just more than I got. That's what I wanted, more than I got. But yeah, I got what I got, so it's fine. You gotta make do with what you have. So it's a 4.5 for me. It's, even though on Fable I said a 4 stars, I don't know how to change it now. I would love to know how to change it so that I could change it. But yeah, my Fable, I have 4 stars. It's actually 4.5 because the things that I didn't enjoy weren't that bad to take out a whole star. It was just meh, you know? So yeah, 4.5. And I think that's all I have to say. So I'll see you guys probably tomorrow.
The next day.
So it's 8:43 p.m. and there's a football match at 8 not 8:30, at 9 p.m. It's a Barca match. I'm a Barca fan. So I want to watch the game, and I have like 41 pages from the novella that I think I'm going to read tomorrow because I cannot read 41 pages in 15 minutes. So we're reading them tomorrow. The plot of the novella, basically we have this girl named Mackenzie. She's 12 and she has done something to get the attention of the FBI because there has been some self-exitings in her town, and she's like, Kelly, the last victim, she I know for a fact that she did not self-exit. I know for a fact that she was killed. And she does this really noxious thing to get the attention of the FBI. And she's like, I'm gonna stay here until you do your job and find out who did this to Kelly. Which I kind of get because, okay, you think this girl has been killed. I get it. But what she decides to do, it makes me so uncomfortable and it puts me so on edge that I'm not really enjoying it because I'm that uncomfortable with it. I'm like, why was this the thing that you decided to do as a 12-year-old? Like, okay, you wanted the FBI. Like, you could have gotten their attention some other way. I don't know. Why was this the extent of. I don't know. I don't know. It makes me deeply uncomfortable. And I think that's why I'm not enjoying it as much as I was enjoying the other books. Because for me right now it's sitting at 3 stars. I really enjoy the characters. I love the naturals, their interactions with each other. I love them. I But this little thing is making me so fucking uncomfortable. I don't know why. So yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is finish this book, or this novella I should say, tomorrow, because today I actually got home late because I went to get some coffee with a friend after class, and then I had a therapy appointment at 6 p.m., so I didn't have much time to read in between each thing. So yeah, I read a little bit before going to the therapy appointment, and I read a little bit more when I got back from the therapy appointment. And yeah, this is gonna be a quick update because I don't really have much more to say other than this thing is making me really uncomfortable and I want it to end. Okay, we are gathered here for me to give you guys a little reading update because I have some updates. And we went to the mall. It's Friday. It's 10:37 p.m. We just got like back from the mall, and I bought some books. I'm not happy to report that, but we'll get into the book haul later on. The reading update. I Yesterday when I gave you guys the reading update on 12, I forgot to tell you that I started listening to Nocticadia on my way back from school by Carrie Lake. I think it's Carrie Lake, the author. Yeah, Carrie Lake. I'm 12 chapters into the story, and I have to admit that I am a little bit confused. So I'm gonna try and give you guys a synopsis. Basically, from what I've gathered, 4 years ago, our FMC, whose name I forgot, discovered the body of her mom in the bathroom of their house. And she thinks she saw some sort of parasite thingy on her mom, but from the autopsy reports and the testimony of the other witnesses that saw the body, nobody saw any type of parasite. So she's a little bit confused, so she doesn't know what to believe essentially. So we're back to the present. She is working and going to a community college, and she gives this paper on assignment. She makes this paper on this parasite thing that she saw in her mom, and she thinks she made up in her mind. And her professor is like, well, there's this university called Dercadia University, I think. It's a really prestigious university, and the parasite that you described in your paper is not actually made up. It exists. So they have given you a full scholarship for 1 semester at this university, and yeah, you can decide if you want to take it or not. That's basically the plot. That's where I'm at. Actually, that's not the plot. That's where I'm at. I don't want to get into more. There are more things that are happening, but I don't want to get into them because I think that those can be spoilers. So that's essentially the story. So yeah, now she has to decide if she wants to take the scholarship or not. So that's essentially the whole plot. Up until this point, it's given dark. It's not really given academia yet because we haven't gotten to the college aspect of it. So I'm not surprised that it's not given academia yet. But yeah, as you can see, I am a little bit confused. But I did tell you guys that. Next update. I read 41 pages of what I had left from 12, and I know I'm holding back blood, but 12 is at the end of this book, so that's why I'm holding up blood, just in case. And 3 stars. Nothing felt right. I'm not gonna say nothing felt right, but something didn't feel right. I don't know what it is. I cannot pinpoint it. I cannot put my finger on what was wrong, but something wasn't feeling right. So it's just 3 stars. It was fine. Nothing mind blowing. I liked the ending. I liked the kind of conclusion that it gave to the series. And we move forward. Next, I was going to start reading One Dark Window by Rachel Gillick, but I bought some books, as I've said before, and one of those books is Given Summer, and since it's still hot outside and this book is screaming fall to me, I was like, I'm going to read the book that is screaming summer first, while it's still hot outside and I can enjoy or immerse myself a little bit better into the story. And that book is My Friends by Fredrik Backman. I don't know if the cover is given summer. The book came out in summer. I'm pretty sure it's a summer book. If not, I don't know why they chose this cover, but this cover is screaming summer to me. What I was gonna say, ever since I read, what did I read? Anxious People by Fredrik Backman, I've been obsessed with his writing style. I've been continually thinking about it, and I want to read his whole backlist. but I didn't know where to start because I feel like Bear Town is way too much of an emotional investment type of thing. So my friends seemed like the good option. Seemed like a good option to start. You know, why not? Why not start with his most recent release? And every single one that I've seen read this book, enjoyed it. So I'm really excited to get back into his writing because I really did enjoy his other book. Next, I bought Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, and this was similar to my friends in the way that I want to get into R.F. Kuang's universe, but I didn't know where to start. I didn't want to start with Calabasas because that felt like way too much. The same reason for Babel, the same reason for the Poppy War. So I was like, you know what? Maybe Yellowface is the safer option out of the other one. And I think, I don't know, I'm excited to get into the world and see what how her writing is and all of that. Also, it's blurbed by Stephen King on the back. It says hard to put down, harder to forget. I've also heard great things about this book. So yeah, just the writing. I just ripped a page. Oh my god, of course I did. But the writing is small. Can you see that? The writing is small. Okay. It's fine, I guess. And now, to get back into the spooky mood, the fall mood, as soon as I saw the Penguin English Library edition of this book, I know I had to get it. The book is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Look at the cover and tell me it's not stunning. I have another 2 or 3 books on this edition. I have The Picture of Dorian Gray, and I also have Little Women. I don't know if I have any other one. Not that I remember right now. But I do want to collect them. And when I saw that they had Frankenstein, which is like the OG Gothic story, I was like, this is my sign to get it. This is literally my sign to get this book. So I did. It's not too long. It's like 260-ish pages. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this book during October or November or December, because if I have to be honest, I'm not a Christmas girly. I know that sounds insane, but I don't like Christmas, okay? Sue me. I don't like Christmas. I don't enjoy it. It's not my favorite time of the year. It's not for me. So I'm gonna be reading fall / horror / spooky books probably until the spring time, because that's what's giving for me. I said what I said, and I'm gonna do what I said. So yeah, that's my reading update. I hope whatever I was yapping about for 13 minutes made any type of sense. So yeah, right now I'm not gonna start My Friends tonight. I'm actually gonna start it tomorrow morning. What I'm gonna do though is wash my face and go to bed, because it's past my bedtime. Even though it's the weekend, I like to keep a routine, and it's past my bedtime now.